Welcome to the latest installment of Random Topics, the show where we make a half-hearted attempt to infotain you with semi-interesting, unrelated random topics in the categories of arts, science, history, and geography. I'm Mac.
And I am Chris.
And today's topics are...
In the arts, we have Texas Chainsaw Massacre, The Next Generation.
In science, we have oaks.
And in history, we have bagels.
Geography is Ol Doinyo Lengai.
That sounds very interesting.
Yes, more on that in a moment. But first, Chris, what are we drinking?
Well, today we are drinking from Upland Brewing, Campside Session IPA. They have a nice campfire on the label. It's out of Bloomington, Indiana.
This is the second session IPA we've had in just a few episodes.
I think so. It's because I find them really refreshing. I wasn't sure how I felt about them at first, but...
I haven't tasted it yet, but it really looks like pee to me.
Yeah.
Like more so
I hope it doesn't taste that way.
It's not good.
Not a fan?
No.
Oh no, I like it. I'll drink mine.
I also will drink mine. It doesn't have to be good for me to drink it.
Yeah.
Let's jump right into the show.
Yeah, let's jump right in. I don't know if this really counts as art, but it's loosely arts. Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise. It
sounds artistic.
One of the sequels. It's called Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation. Although it was also known as The Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4: The Next Generation, or just Texas Chainsaw Massacre 4. A lot of titles depending on different releases and marketing and things. This particular sequel was written and directed by Kim Henkel, who he was one of the original on the first one. He, I think, co-wrote it or something like that. It was a money loser, so it had a $600,000 budget and it only made $185,000 according to Wikipedia.
I feel like we could make a movie and make that much money.
Yeah, it had some production issues because I think it was held up by the studio for a while, and Renee Zellweger's in it, and so they were waiting until I think Jerry Maguire had come out, and because they wanted to have her be a bigger star on it, and Matthew McConaughey's in it, so they've got those two award winners. Yeah, so maybe we could do a marathon.
Like you and me.
Yeah.
Don't you think we already spent enough time together?
Yeah.
In science, we have oaks.
Like trees?
Yes.
Okay.
The trees. There are over 600 species of oak trees. So oak as a wood, of course, is hard and strong, which is why we use it in a lot of furniture and flooring and stuff. Mm-hmm. And it's resistant to fungus and insects because...
Science.
Tannins.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yes, tannins. And I mean, no one knows what a tannin is, right? I mean, somebody knows, but
yeah,
I don't know what they are.
People don't listen to that person.
But obviously, so oak is used in a lot of stuff. Used in shipbuilding. 9th century Viking longships were made of oak.
Yeah, and they knew what they were doing.
Obviously, I mean, we talked about wood floors, but like interior trim and paneling and furniture, right? Timber framed buildings, especially in Europe. It's used for smoking, like fish, cheese, meat, and for tanning leather.
Is that what that?
Yes.
That's what it's from?
Yes.
That's the same thing?
Yes.
Whoa.
Oh my God, a bunch of heads just exploded.
Yeah. Now we lost half of our viewers. They're dead now.
Obviously, it's also used in barrels, right?
Oak barrel. Oh, that's the same oak.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's how the tannins get in the wine.
Oh,
because it's used in oak barrels for wine, for sherry, which really is kind of wine, right? Maybe.
I don't know. I don't drink sherry.
Brandy, also made from grapes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But all whiskeys are commonly aged in oak casks, or barrels, I should say. There's a species in the Mediterranean that's called the cork oak. Can you guess what it produces?
No.
It's called the cork oak.
Cork,
yes. For wine stoppers, it comes from the bark. And then there's one final thing that I want to talk about that relates to oaks.
What is that?
Acorns, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
they are poison to many and maybe even most animals because of
Another science thing.
Tannins.
Oh, yeah. I feel like you set me up for that.
Yeah, tannins apparently don't agree with a lot of animals. So the exception to this is pigs, of course, right?
Yeah, they do whatever they want.
In books, pigs eat acorns all the time. I don't know in real life anything about pigs because I've never even seen one, I don't think.
Yeah.
But like in Spain, for instance, the tradition is to pasture pigs in oak groves. What do you have for us in history?
I'm going to talk about one of my favorite things in the world. Bagels.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Britney Spears.
No. Although I did read she has a new album coming out, which is exciting.
Do you think it'll be as successful as How Much Is That Doggy in the Window?
I hope so. One of my favorite things that is not Britney Spears is the bagel, which originated in Poland. And for those of you who live...
Oh, that makes because it's boiled, right?
Yeah.
Like pierogies.
Oh yeah, pierogies are boiled.
Yeah, the Polish are big on boiling things, I guess.
Yeah.
And then doing other stuff to it. Boil it, then fry it. Boil it, then bake it.
So yeah, that leads me into my next point there. For those of you who don't know what a proper bagel is, because you've just been getting them at the freezer section at the grocery store. Usually they're boiled and then baked. We don't really know when they were first created, but the first mention of them that anyone, as far as we can tell, was 1610 in the Jewish community ordinances in Krakow, Poland, which said that they were to be given to women in childbirth as a gift.
Okay, yeah.
It translates, I think it's like the Yiddish word maybe for ring. So it's just kind of shaped that way.
Kind of.
Like a basketball ring almost.
A little bit.
Topical, yeah.
Very good.
And then
by the time this comes out, no one will remember that happened.
And then I guess immigrants brought it to New York City, where they were made. And there was a big union back in the day called the Bagel Bakers Local 338, which really controlled a lot of the bagel making in New York City. And so like when they went on strike, there were just like no bagels.
They sound hard.
Yeah. Well, there are the different kinds. So there's the New York City style, and then there's the Montreal style.
Oh, does the Montreal style have gravy and cheese on it?
No. Like what? Like poutine or something? No, those ones are sweeter and I think smaller, or maybe they're larger. There's a difference.
Probably larger.
Yeah. So that's the history of bagels.
So for geography, I have a doozy.
What is it?
Ol Doinyo Lengai. I'm sure I'm not saying that right. So it's a mountain that in the Gregory Rift.
Okay.
In the Arusha region.
Yeah. I got it. You could have stopped at Gregory. What was it?
You know, for our
Yeah.
for our less
Less traveled or
worldly
something. Yeah.
audience, that is in the country of Tanzania.
Okay.
Tanzania. It's one of those two things. So, Ol Doinyo Lengai is an active volcano. It's not just a mountain. It's also an active volcano. And it's unique because it produces, and this I am going to pronounce correctly, nitrocarbonatite lava, which is cooler than most lava, only 950 degrees Fahrenheit. Which is also a lot of degrees in Celsius, but I can't do the mental math to tell you
because
what
of
that
America.
is. Yeah. Yeah. Damn yeah. So because it's cool, it looks black instead of red. It's actually much more fluid than your standard run-of-the-mill garden variety lava.
Oh, no.
Assuming you have lava in your garden.
Yes.
It's often less viscous than water.
Really?
Yeah, so it's gonna flow real fast.
So don't even bother trying to run, or could you even drive away from it, or you're just doomed, right?
Drive away. It's also important not just for volcanologists, but for wildebeests.
Oh, okay.
And their, annual thing that they do, because there are special pasture lands around the volcano because of the nutrients in the ash.
Yeah.
Has done something to the to the soil, and therefore the grasses and the wildebeests are just like crazy for it. They love it. They just go to town.
Tastes really good.
There. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not just important to wildebeest, it's also important to the Maasai people. This mountain, the Ol Doinyo Lengai, means mountain of God in the Maasai language, and it's culturally and religiously significant for the Maasai people. So don't mess with it.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a fun show, Chris. I hope you enjoyed it, and hope you'll keep watching. We'll see you next time.